5 seconds to go. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to take part in the discussion on the Union budget for the financial year, and I must at the outset commend the Honorable Finance Minister for presenting a comprehensive and forward looking document that seeks to balance fiscal prudence with social welfare. This budget, sir, is not merely a statement of receipts and expenditure, but a vision for the economic growth of our nation. It attempts to address the aspirations of every section of society, from farmers and workers to entrepreneurs and youth. However, while appreciating the intent and direction of the budget, it is also necessary to analyze whether the proposals made will truly translate into tangible benefits at the ground level. Sir, one of the key highlights of this budget is the emphasis on infrastructure development. The allocation for roads, railways, ports, and airports has been substantially increased, and this step will undoubtedly boost employment and connectivity. But I would like to draw the attention of the government to the fact that the execution of infrastructure projects often suffers due to delays in land acquisition, environmental clearances, and interdepartmental coordination. It is therefore important that the government not only allocate funds but also ensure timely implementation through transparent monitoring mechanisms. The second major aspect of the budget is its focus on agriculture and rural development. The Honorable Minister has proposed several schemes to enhance irrigation facilities, promote organic farming, and increase the income of farmers. The announcement of higher credit flow to the agricultural sector is indeed welcome, but I would urge the government to ensure that these benefits reach small and marginal farmers who are most in need of assistance. The issue of minimum support prices and marketing infrastructure must also be addressed effectively so that farmers are not forced to sell their produce at distress prices. Sir, another commendable feature of this budget is the renewed emphasis on skill development and job creation. In a country where the majority of the population is under the age of 35, it is essential to equip our youth with employable skills. The proposal to establish new skill centers and digital training hubs is a step in the right direction, but it must be accompanied by industry partnerships to ensure real employment opportunities. The unemployment challenge cannot be solved merely by schemes. It requires a conducive ecosystem for entrepreneurship, innovation, and private sector participation. I also welcome the government's decision to increase investment in the education and health sectors. The proposal to set up new medical colleges, improve primary healthcare infrastructure, and expand the Ayushman Bharat scheme will strengthen our public health system. Similarly, the decision to modernize school curricula and promote research and innovation in higher education will empower the next generation. However, I would like to point out that allocations for these sectors, though higher than before, are still inadequate considering the scale of our population and the challenges before us. The government must prioritize human capital as much as it prioritizes physical infrastructure. Sir, on the fiscal front, the budget has sought to maintain discipline by keeping the fiscal deficit within manageable limits while still investing in growth oriented areas. This balancing act is commendable, but the assumptions regarding tax collection and disinvestment proceeds appear somewhat optimistic. The actual realization of revenue targets will depend on the pace of economic recovery and the revival of private investment. Therefore, the government must be cautious in its projections and ensure that social sector expenditure is not compromised in the event of a shortfall. I also wish to highlight the importance of small and medium enterprises, which form the backbone of our economy. The budget's proposals for credit guarantee schemes, simplification of compliance norms, and incentives for startups are praiseworthy. Yet, MSMEs continue to face problems in accessing timely finance from banks. The government should consider establishing a single window system for credit clearance and faster refund mechanisms for GST. Moreover, the problem of delayed payments from large corporates and government departments remains unsolved, and it is high time we address this through stricter legal provisions. The Honorable Finance Minister has also rightly emphasized digital transformation as a key driver of the new economy. The push for digital payments, expansion of broadband connectivity, and promotion of fintech innovation are forward looking initiatives that will enhance transparency and inclusion. However, it is equally important to strengthen cybersecurity and data protection frameworks to ensure that citizens' privacy is not compromised. Sir, the budget also reflects the government's commitment to environmental sustainability. The increased allocation for renewable energy, electric mobility, and afforestation programs deserves application. The launch of the Green Energy Corridor and the National Hydrogen Mission will position India as a leader in clean energy transition. Nevertheless, we must recognize that environmental challenges cannot be addressed merely through budgetary announcements. They require behavioral change and community participation. The government should also provide more incentives for industries adopting eco friendly technologies and promote waste management at the municipal level. Coming to taxation, I appreciate the efforts made to simplify the direct tax system and reduce the burden on middle class taxpayers. The introduction of new simplified tax regime coupled with digital return processing will certainly improve compliance. However, there is still a need to widen the tax base for curbing evasion and bringing more sectors under the formal economy. The indirect tax structure must also be streamlined to avoid multiple interpretations that lead to unnecessary litigation. Sir, the budget's vision for a self reliant India is praiseworthy. The thrust on domestic manufacturing under the Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives will strengthen our industrial base. Yet, protectionism should not be at the cost of competitiveness.